Hello and welcome back to Beckler Guitars and Repairs, and today we're checking out a 2018 Les Paul Classic with P90's. Alright, so I just picked this up locally from a local guitar guy I deal with quite a bit. He bought it, doesn't really play it, so yeah, he sold it. And then I ended up picking it up for a decent price. So this year is a 2018 Les Paul Classic. It has some kind of interesting specs on this model. It's not weight relieved, so it's quite heavy. I think we're going to throw it on the scale and see what it weighs. This year they were cryogenically freezing the frets, so those are kind of cool. When you cryogenically freeze metal, it does change the properties. So these are a little bit different than standard frets. These are the medium frets as well. This also has the slim taper neck, so we'll see what those specs look like. It's got the standard Grover tuners on the back here. And the electronics on this model are all hand wired, so it's not like the PCB systems or anything like that. It's kind of more of a return to form for Gibson this year. And they also have the orange drop capacitors. And this guitar is in really nice shape. It's black, so it shows every scuff and swirl and, you know, picking mark on it, but there's no major scratches or dings anywhere. The plastic's still on the pick guard. I did notice when I was originally looking at it that some of the frets are a little oxidized and little kind of rusty spots. I think it might have been sitting in a damp basement for a while. So we'll have to clean those up, but everything else seems to be okay. The truss rod was working good, and I managed to get the action pretty low just trying it out. So I don't think it'll need too much. It also comes with all the original case candy, which here came with lots of case candy. We've got this really cool Gibson pen. It's gold, and it has like a diagram of a pickup on there. And yeah, it's kind of neat. I've never really seen that before. Comes with the strap, an extra switch tip for some reason. Looks like he's got the original receipt in there. And the warranty card, the baby picture, yeah, and then we've got more case candy in the bag here. So we've got our Gibson multi-tool, a polishing cloth, another manual, and a bag for everything. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like these P90 classics. Especially this year. I haven't tried one out yet, so I'm excited to try it out. So let's get it on the bench and take a look at the specs on this thing. Alright, weighing in at 9 pounds, 5.9 ounces. Considering it's not weight relieved, that's a pretty nice weight. Alright, with the nut is 1.699, so about 1.7. And with the 12th is a 2.06. First fret neck depth is a 0.839, and at the 12th, an 8.745. Here's our neck profile. It's a pretty standard C. It does flatten out a little bit by the 12th, and it's a slim taper neck. It feels a lot like a standard, like kind of a 60 slim taper neck. Not quite as chunky as a 50s, so yeah, it feels good. Alright, having a look at our pickup readings here. So our bridge pickup is reading a 7.85, our neck a 7.88, and our middle is a 3.93. And just checking out our fingerboard and our frets, you can see they're a little oxidized, a little rusty. They need a little bit of work. So this is before and after. So super shiny and well polished. So there's a look at our truss rod. So yeah, no thread showing. Lots of room for adjustment. Still got the paint on there from factory, so it looks like it hasn't been adjusted really. And then just another look at our fretboard. I've oiled the fretboard with lemon oil, so it's nice and dark now. It's got some nice streak to it. It's a good looking fretboard. And no weird gaps or anything in our binding. Our binding looks good. And not a lot of tooling marks on the fretboard either, which is, you know, something that plagues a lot of Les Pauls. But this one looks very nicely well done. And let's have a look at our pickups here. So these are the Gibson P90 soap bar pickups, and these are dated to 2017. And there's a look at our plates. So this is how they mount the P90's and Gibsons. They put a little metal plate here, and there's two little spots for the screws to go through. The screws are on little springs here, and that adjusts your pickup height. The routs are looking nice and clean. And this is our bridge pickup. Same story, kind of dates to 2017. And we've got another plate in there as well. And we can kind of see our cap here. So right here's our maple cap, just like on a normal Les Paul, so that's nice and thick. And here's a look at our ABR1 bridge. It's branded Gibson ABR1. And our tailpiece is actually a Tone Pro lightweight tailpiece. And these are the black speed knobs that it came with. Just going to flip it around and we can check out the cavity. Actually, I'm just going to quickly go over the condition of the top here. So this hasn't been quite polished or anything yet, but you can see there's no major scratches or dings. Some slight polishing swirls you can see in the light and some light picking marks, but overall very, very clean. Alright, here's our back cavities. We can see our Gibson branded full-size pots here. And our nice orange drop capacitors. Those are a nice spec. And everything looks as it should in there. It looks like all the original wiring and soldering, nothing's been messed with. So these also come with the textured cavity plates and pickup switch plate. And there's our pickup switch cavity, and that all looks as it should as well. And the back looks nice. There's no scratches or dings anywhere. A few slight polishing swirls. I'm going to see what I can polish out of this. I'm sure I can get it pretty clean. I didn't notice anything that major anywhere on this guitar. And there's our neck and our Grover machine heads, as well as our 2018 serial number. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and restring this and get it set up and intonated, and we can check the setup. Okay, I got it restrung, strings are stretched and intonated, I've got the action nice and low, just where I like it. I'm going to show that there's no buzz anywhere on the fretboard. So yeah, plays nice and low with no buzz anywhere. For action at the 12th fret. We can see on the low E, we're looking at about 1.5 millimeters on the low E. On the high E, we're looking at about 1. So we can see that when I fret the 3rd fret, that the 1st fret string is just resting nicely on that 1st string. So that means we've got nice relief in the neck and our nut is cut well. And if you can see there, there's just the slightest little gap between the notch straight edge and the fingerboard. So that just shows there's just a little bit of relief in the neck. Alright, now that it's all cleaned up and set up, let's plug it in and see how it sounds. Alright, so we're plugged into the 65 Deluxe Reverb. I'm using the Bagheera PS1 Power Soak. I'm set at 5.5 bass, 5.5 treble, 6 or 4.5 for my volume, and 2 for reverb. So let's just see how this sounds clean, and then we'll use a little bit of dirt. Alright, starting off on the bridge here. Do some strumming. I'm on the bridge here. Yeah, it sounds great, clean. It's got that nice P90 sound. Alright, I'm going to throw a little bit of overdrive on there and see how that sounds. That's the bridge, there's the neck. nice P90 snarl. It's kind of like a beefed up single coil. Not quite a humbucker, but a little bit more mids and a little bit more power behind it than just a standard single coil. So yeah, P90s are really, really great. I really do love them on a Les Paul. Neck. And middle. Okay, I'm just going to throw in a little bit of fuzz because I love P90s with fuzz, and I'm just going to find a good sound for that, and let's try that out. Pick up. All right, middle. All right, what are my final thoughts on the 2018 Gibson Classic with P90s? Yeah, very nice guitar. It's set up and plays very well. It needed a little bit of work, but not bad. The frets are super shiny now. They were pretty rusty before. That was the one issue in the guitar, but yeah, that's solved now. It's heavy, like a proper Les Paul should be, like 9 pounds, 5 ounces. So a little bit on the heavier side, not as heavy as some. But this is a non-weight relieved Les Paul, so that weight is actually pretty good for not having weight relief. And yeah, it plays great. The frets feel great. They're cryogenically frozen, whatever that means to you. Yeah, the neck feels great. It's got the slim taper C-neck. It feels really good. It's got the hand wired wiring with the orange drop capacitors. And yeah, Gibson P90 pickups sound amazing. Like, that really nice in between a humbucker and a single coil. You can get it to break up really nicely. Just kind of sounds angry. I really like that sound. I think everybody should have a guitar with P90's in it, at least one, because they are awesome. Yeah, it's nice to get the ABR1 bridge on this guitar as well too. That's a nice spec. And yeah, it really does feels great, it plays great, and it really sounds great too. And yeah, this guitar comes with the original hardshell case and all the case candy. It has a Gibson pen, strap, polishing cloth, baby picture, manual, as well as the multi-tool, everything. So if you're interested in this guitar, it's going to be up on the Reverb. I have a P90 guitar already, otherwise I would be looking at this one very closely for keeping it, because it's great. But other than that, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in to Beckler Guitars and Repair, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks.